Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saying this: the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. Every great triumph, every challenge overcome, every joy fully felt begins with one simple truth: you've got to love you. Not just like you, not just tolerate you, but love you. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. That sounds selfish, but let me challenge that notion. When you truly love yourself, it's not selfish, it's essential. It's the wellspring from which all your love for others flows. You can't pour from an empty cup, my friends. Loving yourself means recognizing your worth without needing anyone else to validate it. It's not about ego, it's about knowing that your value doesn't depend on someone's approval or applause. Your worth is in you, unchanging, unwavering, undeniable. It means embracing your flaws, owning your mistakes, and standing tall in the face of your imperfections. Because let me tell you something, perfection is an illusion. Nobody's perfect, and trying to be will only wear you out. Instead, celebrate what makes you unique, your quirks, your scars, your story. Loving yourself is the foundation for building meaningful and healthy relationships with others. When you genuinely love and respect yourself, you establish a deep connection with who you are, and this inner confidence radiates outward, shaping how you interact with the world. Self-love is not about being self-centered or dismissive of others. It's about recognizing your intrinsic value and understanding that this recognition is essential to forming authentic connections. When you lack self-love, you might seek validation from others to fill that void. This can lead to relationships that are imbalanced or even toxic, where your happiness depends on external approval. Conversely, when you love yourself, you approach relationships from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. You no longer rely on others to make you feel complete because you already know your worth. Loving yourself also helps you set boundaries and communicate openly in your relationships. It allows you to say, this is what I deserve, and this is what I deserve, and this is what I will not tolerate. Boundaries are not walls that keep people out, they're guidelines that teach others how to treat you. When you respect yourself, others are more likely to respect you in return. This clarity fosters healthier, more balanced relationships where both parties feel valued and understood. Self-love gives you the emotional resilience to navigate challenges with others. Disagreements or misunderstandings don't shake your sense of self because you're not relying on anyone else for your identity or happiness. Instead, you're able to approach conflicts with empathy and understanding, knowing that your worth isn't on the line. Loving yourself sets a powerful example. When you demonstrate self-respect and self-care, you inspire others to do the same. People gravitate toward individuals who exude confidence and self-assuredness because it creates a sense of trust and stability. Your self-love becomes a model for those around you, showing them what it means to value oneself and foster meaningful connections. Self-love deepens your capacity to love others. When you know how to care for yourself, you're better equipped to care for those you hold dear. Love becomes an act of sharing, not giving away parts of yourself to feel whole. It becomes a partnership of equals, rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Loving yourself is not just the foundation for personal happiness, but also the cornerstone of every relationship you build. It's a ripple effect. What starts within you extends outward, transforming not only your life but the lives of those around you. Recognizing your self-worth is a transformative act that allows you to embrace the truth that your value is inherent and not dependent on anyone or anything outside of yourself. It's about understanding that you are deserving of respect, love, and fulfillment simply because you exist, not because of what you achieve, own, or how others perceive you. When you base your worth on external factors like relationships, job titles, social status, or physical appearance, you place your sense of value on things that can change or fade. This creates a fragile foundation where your confidence rises and falls with circumstances outside your control. For example, a promotion might boost your self-esteem temporarily, but if your worth is tied to professional success, a setback at work can leave you feeling lost and inadequate. True self-worth, on the other hand, is unshakable because it's rooted in an understanding of your intrinsic value as a human being.
Acknowledging your self-worth empowers you to stop seeking validation from others. You no longer need to prove your value through excessive people-pleasing, overachievement, or unhealthy compromises. Instead, you begin to prioritize your own needs, desires, and well-being without guilt.
This doesn't mean you disregard others, it means you stop diminishing yourself to fit into someone else's mold or expectations. Self-worth also changes the way you approach challenges and failures. When you value yourself, you see mistakes as opportunities for growth rather than reflections of inadequacy. You treat yourself with compassion, recognizing that setbacks are a natural part of life and not a measure of your value. This resilience allows you to move forward with confidence, even when circumstances are difficult. Recognizing your worth helps you to attract and maintain healthier relationships. When you know you are valuable, you naturally gravitate toward people who respect and appreciate you. You stop tolerating toxic behaviors or settling for less than you deserve. Your relationships become grounded in mutual respect, where both parties uplift and support each other. This understanding also fosters inner peace. When you realize that you are enough just as you are, you free yourself from the exhausting pursuit of perfection. You stop comparing yourself to others, focusing instead on your unique qualities and journey. This self-acceptance creates a sense of balance and contentment, allowing you to live authentically. Self-worth is not something you earn, it's something you embrace. When you acknowledge your inherent value, you unlock a life of greater confidence, joy, and fulfillment, unbound by the opinions or judgments of others. Embracing your flaws and imperfections is a cornerstone of self-love and personal growth. It's an acknowledgement that you, like everyone else, are a work in progress. Instead of viewing your imperfections as shortcomings, you begin to see them as unique traits that contribute to your individuality and humanity. Accepting yourself as you are allows you to build a healthier, more compassionate relationship with yourself. Society often sets unrealistic standards for perfection, whether in appearance, achievements, or behavior. Trying to conform to these ideals can lead to self-criticism and feelings of inadequacy. The pursuit of perfection is not only unattainable but also draining. It keeps you locked in a cycle of dissatisfaction, where nothing you do ever feels good enough. By embracing your flaws, you free yourself from this endless chase, choosing instead to celebrate the things that make you uniquely you. Acknowledging your imperfections doesn't mean settling for mediocrity or ignoring areas where you can improve. It's about understanding that growth and self-acceptance coexist. You can strive to be better while appreciating who you are in the present. This balance creates a more positive and sustainable approach to personal development, where self-criticism is replaced with self-compassion. When you accept your flaws, you also become more authentic. You stop hiding behind masks or pretending to be someone you're not to gain acceptance. This authenticity not only strengthens your relationship with yourself, but also fosters deeper connections with others. People are drawn to those who are genuine because it gives them permission to be real too. Your imperfections become a source of relatability, reminding others that they don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and respect. Embracing your flaws also builds resilience. Life is filled with challenges and no one navigates it flawlessly. When you accept your imperfections, you become less afraid of failure because you understand that it doesn't define you. Instead of fearing mistakes, you see them as opportunities to learn and grow. This shift in perspective helps you approach life with confidence and courage. Moreover, self-acceptance leads to greater inner peace. When you stop fighting against who you are or constantly striving to meet impossible standards, you create space for self-love and gratitude. You begin to appreciate your strengths and accept your weaknesses without judgment. Embracing your flaws and imperfections is about recognizing that you are whole and worthy just as you are. It's an act of self-love that allows you to live authentically, grow meaningfully, and connect deeply with yourself and others. Understanding that self-care isn't selfish is a transformative mindset that allows you to prioritize your well-being without guilt. Many people, especially those who are naturally giving or empathetic, struggle with the idea of putting themselves first. They may feel that focusing on their own needs takes away from what they can offer others. However, the truth is quite the opposite. When you take care of yourself, you become better equipped to care for those around you. Self-care is the foundation of a healthy, balanced life. It involves nurturing your physical, emotional, and mental well-being in ways that sustain you rather than deplete you. Whether it's as simple as getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, or taking time to rest and recharge, these acts of care are essential. They're not indulgences, but necessities that allow you to function at your best. When you neglect self-care, the consequences ripple through every aspect of your life. You might find yourself feeling irritable, exhausted, or overwhelmed, making it harder to be present for others or handle life's challenges. By contrast, prioritizing self-care creates a sense of stability and resilience. It enables you to show up fully in your relationships, work, and personal pursuits because you're not operating from a place of emptiness or burnout. Self-care also teaches you to value yourself. It's a declaration that your needs and feelings matter, even in the face of life's demands. This isn't about being selfish, it's about recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. When you care for yourself, you acknowledge your own worth and give yourself the energy to thrive. Importantly, self-care isn't one size fits all. For some, it might mean a morning run or yoga session. For others, it could be journaling, meditating, or simply sitting in silence. What matters is that it's intentional and aligned with what restores and uplifts you. Listening to your body and mind helps you identify what you need, and honoring those needs strengthens your connection to yourself. Practicing self-care also sets an example for others. When people see you prioritizing your well-being, it gives them permission to do the same. It shifts the culture around you, promoting balance and mutual respect for everyone's needs. Self-care is a powerful act of self-love. It's not about placing your needs above others, but recognizing that your well-being is just as important. When you treat yourself with kindness and compassion, you create a life where you can thrive and contribute meaningfully to those around you. Setting boundaries is one of the most profound acts of self-love. It's about defining and protecting your emotional, mental, and physical space, ensuring that your well-being is prioritized. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, they're about creating healthy frameworks for interaction so you can maintain your peace while fostering meaningful and respectful relationships. Many people struggle with boundaries because they fear being seen as selfish, unkind, or uncooperative. However, boundaries are not acts of rejection but of self-respect. When you establish clear limits, you communicate your needs and values, teaching others how to engage with you in ways that honor your worth. This clarity not only benefits you but also helps others understand where they stand, reducing misunderstandings and conflicts. Without boundaries, it's easy to fall into patterns of overextending yourself. You may find yourself constantly saying yes to things that drain your energy, agreeing to commitments you don't want to take on, or tolerating behaviors that make you uncomfortable. Over time, this can lead to resentment, stress, and burnout. Boundaries are a way of reclaiming your energy and ensuring that you're spending it on things that truly matter to you. Establishing boundaries begins with self-awareness. It requires you to identify what feels right for you and what doesn't. This process might involve reflecting on past experiences where you felt overwhelmed, disrespected, or undervalued. By recognizing these patterns, you can start defining the limits you need to protect your well-being. Communicating your boundaries is equally important. It can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're not used to asserting your needs. However, expressing your boundaries doesn't have to be confrontational. It can be as simple as saying, "I need some time to recharge," or "I'm not comfortable with this." Being clear, calm, and consistent helps others understand and respect your limits. One of the most empowering aspects of boundaries is their ability to strengthen relationships. They ensure that interactions are based on mutual respect rather than one-sided expectations. People who truly care about you will appreciate your honesty and value the framework you've created. On the other hand, those who resist your boundaries may reveal themselves as individuals who don't align with your values or respect your needs. Boundaries also protect your inner peace. They allow you to navigate life with confidence, knowing that you're prioritizing your well-being. They remind you that saying no to others is sometimes the best way to say yes to yourself. In the end, setting boundaries is not about exclusion, but about creating space for authenticity, balance, and self-love. Positive self-talk is a transformative practice that can reshape the way you perceive yourself and approach life. The way you speak to yourself has a profound impact on your mindset, confidence, and overall well-being. It acts as an internal dialogue, shaping your beliefs and influencing your emotions, actions, and decisions. By choosing to engage in positive self-talk, you can become your greatest supporter rather than your harshest critic. Many people are unaware of the constant stream of thoughts running through their minds, often defaulting to self-critical or negative patterns. You might catch yourself saying things like, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess things up." These thoughts can feel small in the moment, but over time they erode your self-esteem and create limiting beliefs. Negative self-talk becomes a barrier, convincing you that you can't achieve your goals or that you're undeserving of happiness. Positive self-talk isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about reframing your perspective in a way that empowers you. For instance, in the thinking, "I'll never figure this out," you might say, "This is a challenge, but I can learn and improve." This shift doesn't deny the difficulty, it acknowledges your capability to overcome it. The practice of positive self-talk starts with self-awareness. Pay attention to your inner dialogue and notice when negative thoughts arise. Instead of letting them spiral, pause and ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is it true? Would I say this to someone I care about? More often than not, you'll find that negative thoughts are based on fear or self-doubt rather than reality. Replacing negative self-talk with positive affirmations can create powerful changes. Statements like, "I am capable, I am enough," or "I am enough," or "I am doing my best" reinforce your self-worth and build resilience. Over time, these affirmations can rewire your brain to approach life with confidence and optimism. Positive self-talk also fuels motivation and perseverance. When faced with setbacks, a supportive inner voice encourages you to keep going instead of giving up. It reminds you that failure is part of growth and that every step forward matters. The benefits of positive self-talk extend beyond individual achievements. It also improves relationships. When you treat yourself with kindness and compassion, you're better equipped to extend those qualities to others. You become more patient, empathetic, and understanding because your internal dialogue reflects those values. Positive self-talk is a daily commitment to nurturing a healthy, loving relationship with yourself. It empowers you to face life's challenges with courage and grace, reminding you that you are your most valuable ally. Growth through self-reflection is a powerful process that deepens your understanding of who you are, what drives you, and where you want to go. It's an intentional act of pausing to examine your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and experiences, allowing you to uncover patterns, learn from mistakes, and make more aligned choices for your life. When you take the time to reflect, you foster a stronger connection with yourself, which is essential for personal development and self-love. Self-reflection begins with honesty. It's about being willing to look at yourself without judgment or denial. This includes recognizing your strengths and celebrating them, as well as acknowledging areas where you struggle. It's not about criticizing yourself, but about seeking understanding. For example, if you've reacted poorly in a situation, self-reflection helps you ask, why did I respond that way? What can I learn from this? Rather than spiraling into guilt or shame. One of the most empowering aspects of self-reflection is that it turns challenges into opportunities for growth. Life is full of ups and downs, but when you take time to reflect, even difficult experiences become valuable lessons. You learn what works, what doesn't, and how to approach similar situations differently in the future. This mindset shift transforms setbacks into stepping stones, building resilience and confidence along the way. Self-reflection also helps you clarify your values and priorities. In the hustle of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters to you. Reflecting allows you to realign with your core beliefs and ensure that your actions and choices are consistent with them. This alignment creates a sense of purpose and fulfillment as you're no longer drifting aimlessly or making decisions that conflict with your true self. Self-reflection fosters emotional intelligence. By examining your feelings and reactions, you become more attuned to your emotional needs and triggers. This awareness helps you navigate relationships and challenges with greater empathy and understanding. You're better equipped to manage conflicts, communicate effectively, and maintain emotional balance as you've developed a deeper understanding of yourself. The practice of self-reflection doesn't have to be time-consuming or complicated. It can be as simple as journaling, meditating, or spending a few quiet moments at the end of the day reviewing your actions and intentions. What matters is consistency and openness to growth. Growth through self-reflection is about becoming your own guide. It's a lifelong journey of learning, evolving, and embracing your authentic self. By reflecting on where you've been, you gain clarity on where you were going, empowering you to live with greater purpose, self-awareness, and self-love. Authenticity is one of the most liberating and empowering aspects of self-love. Living authentically means embracing who you truly are, without pretense or fear of judgment. It's about aligning your actions, choices, and relationships with your core values, beliefs, and passions. When you're authentic, you're not trying to conform to external expectations or societal norms. Instead, you're fully expressing your unique self. Being authentic requires self-awareness. You must know who you are, your strengths, weaknesses, dreams, and fears. This understanding doesn't come overnight. It's a process of introspection and self-discovery. It involves peeling back the layers of what you've been told you should be to reveal who you genuinely are. This journey can be challenging, especially if you've spent years suppressing parts of yourself to fit in or please others. However, the reward is profound, a life that feels meaningful, honest, and deeply satisfying. Living authentically also means accepting your imperfections. You don't need to be flawless to be worthy of love and respect. Your quirks, mistakes, and vulnerabilities are part of what makes you human and relatable. Embracing these aspects of yourself allows you to show up in the world without the weight of unrealistic expectations. It's a declaration that you're enough just as you are. Authenticity fosters deeper connections with others. When you're true to yourself, you attract people who appreciate and value you for who you are, not for the mask you wear. These relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding, creating bonds that are more meaningful and enduring. Conversely, being inauthentic often leads to superficial relationships as people are drawn to a version of you that isn't real. Authenticity also gives you the courage to pursue your passions and dreams. It frees you from the fear of failure or judgment because you're no longer living to impress others. Instead, you're driven by a desire to live a life that feels right for you. This alignment brings a sense of purpose and joy that's impossible to achieve when you're living someone else's version of success. Living authentically doesn't mean you'll never face criticism or rejection. Not everyone will understand or support your choices, and that's okay. Authenticity isn't about pleasing everyone, it's about pleasing yourself and being at peace with who you are. Over time, the confidence and contentment that come from being true to yourself outweigh any external disapproval. Ultimately, authenticity is a profound act of self-love. It's about showing up in the world as your truest self, unapologetically and wholeheartedly. By doing so, you create a life that reflects your unique essence, empowering you to thrive with purpose and joy. As we stand at the crossroads of choice every single day, let us remember that the greatest commitment we can make is to ourselves. Loving yourself is not selfish, it is foundational. It's the compass that guides your decisions, the strength that empowers your relationships, and the light that brightens your path. When you learn to value your worth, embrace your imperfections, and speak to yourself with kindness, you unlock the potential to live authentically and unapologetically. You set boundaries that protect your peace and engage in self-care that fuels your resilience. Through reflection, you grow, and through authenticity, you inspire. In loving yourself more than anyone else, you're not diminishing others, you're enriching every connection you have. Because when you show up as the best version of yourself, you not only thrive, but also uplift those around you. Remember, the world doesn't need a version of you shaped by fear or comparison. It needs the real, radiant you. So start today. Look in the mirror not with criticism, but with appreciation. Speak to yourself not with doubt, but with encouragement. Treat yourself not as an afterthought, but as a priority. Learn to love yourself fiercely, because when you do, you create a life of meaning, balance, and boundless possibility. And when you do that, my friends, the sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. Thank you.